be removing a regular screw. Okay, these would be the screws that we'll be removing today. Right here on the edge of the temples. Okay, the tools that we'll be using today is our flathead screwdriver, our needle nose plier, and our cutter. Okay, so we will start with the side that you want to start with first. So what we would do is we would use one of our fingers as a bridge to protect the lens. You want to protect the lens at all costs because you do not want the lens to get scratched. So we will be moving in a counterclockwise direction, which would be to our left. In order to loosen this screw, we're going to take the base of the flathead screwdriver, we're going to place it in our palm, and we're going to move to the left. Alright, and we're moving and twisting to the left, and your screw should be a little loose, that way you're able to actually pull it out. And we're gonna try pulling it out, and it's loose enough for us to pull it out. Okay, so now we're gonna place the screw back in. We're gonna take this screw and put it in. Alright, you can use the needle nose plier if you're unable to actually put it back into the hole. If you're able to do it with your fingers, you can use your fingers, or you can use the needle nose plier. So I just used my fingers to do so, and now we're going to move to the right in order to tighten it, which would be clockwise. Alright, make sure your finger is there as a bridge so that you're protecting the lens. And we're moving to the right and tightening it. And make sure that it's tightened all the way. Alright, until you can't go anymore. You don't want it too tight, but you want it secure. Alright, so that screw is in. Alright, so you will have a little excess of screw on the bottom if it is a little too long. We would be using the cutter in order to remove the excess screw, and we'll be filing it down so that it does not hurt the wearer or patient. So before we do that, I'm going to remove the screw on the other side first, and then we can do the filing at the end. All right, so now we're going to use our finger as a bridge, and we're going to use our flathead screwdriver. We're going to rotate to our left, which is counterclockwise. And we're rotating. Alright, just keep going. Try to keep your hand steady as much as possible so that you can take the screw out. And let's see if it's loose enough to wiggle it out. Just need to go a little bit more. Alright, I think it's loose enough. Alright, so we're going to take the screw out. Alright, and this is with the screw removed. You want to make sure that the holes are aligned when you're putting it back. So that we're going to take the screw, we're going to put it back into the hole. Alright, so I was unable to pick it up with my finger this time. So we're going to use the needle nose plier, and we're going to put it in that way. One moment. Okay, so just making sure that it's in And you're gonna rotate to the right to secure it. Make sure you're protecting the lens. You want to go all the way down to make sure that the screw is tight. Alright, so I guess we have it all tight. Now what we're going to do, you see this little excess, we're going to file it down with our filer, which is another tool that we'll be using so that we can file the excess part of the screw because it's a little too long. Alright, so because the excess is a little too short, the cutter won't be able to actually pull off the excess part of the screw. So what we're going to do is we're going to just file it down so that it is not poking the patient, so that we can make it smooth. So we would just be filing it, and we're going to use this side of the filer to make it smooth. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Make sure you're protecting the lens. And we're still filing just to make sure it's smooth so we're not hurting our patient. Okay, and now that we have it smoothed out, this is how we would remove a regular screw off a frame.